Alright, so in today's video we're going to make the mount bracket, and as you can see I've already got the mount bracket document saved. So that was in our Year 10 CAD, and I've made a folder called Skills Task, and I've got mount bracket in there, and so I'm going to do that. And so when you look at your drawing, what you're wanting to do is orientate obviously the top of your model to the top face, front of the model to the front face. So when I go to create a new sketch on these work planes that are here, I'm going to choose this work plane here so that I can draw my shape with the front of it facing towards the object. So if I click on that, and so this should be the right hand side of what I'm looking at, and then I can go to the sketch tool and we're going to draw in the shape. Now the shape's roughly like an L shape, and so I'm going to do it as an L and then extrude that through the thickness of what we want it to do. You could do it as a rectangle and then extrude it up. There's a number of different ways, and there's sort of not really one right or wrong. It just works whatever works for you. Okay, so I'm going to start here, and I know that we're going to basically come up like that, and I'm just going to draw in our shape roughly, and then we're going to, I'll dimension it after you and show you how to dimension something if we don't have it. So there's our rough L shape. I'm just going to go okay, because I'm happy with that. Now you can see that also I didn't get this last line here straight, so we'll cover how to fix that up in a sec. These little T things represent that they are perpendicular, which means that they are right angles. So that is perpendicular. So that at right angles, and as a 90-degree bend, that's what it should be. So if we go to sketch and go down to sketch dimension, and we're going to put some dimensions in there, and from this line to this line, that's got to be 25 millimeters. And so all I did was basically click on one line, click on that line, drag up, and click there to place that dimension. From the top line to the bottom line here is 80 millimeters, and then from this line to this line is 60. And then now we're going to sort this out, so we need this straightened up. So let's go over here to our sketch palette, and we've got perpendicular there. So we're going to click on this line and this line to make them perpendicular. So now we've got those at 90 degrees, and you can see it placed that little symbol that's there. So I'm going to go back into the dimension part of it again, and so from this line now to this line now, we want that at 30. So you can see now we've got our constraints basically running all the way around, and if we were to try to add another dimension in there, and what is it? So my dimension tool, and let's say I'll try and do a dimension line here, it'll come up with this window, and it says adding this dimension will over constrain the sketch. Choose OK to create a driven dimension. And if I go OK, you'll notice that the dimension now is in brackets. So essentially what a driven dimension is a dimension that doesn't actually apply any constraints to the drawing. It's just telling you what the value is, but it doesn't actually define the geometry that's there. So if you wanted to know what that number is, you can put a driven dimension in there. So now we know it's 35, but it doesn't actually define it. If I wanted to shift this line here, I'd have to adjust the 60 mil dimension down the bottom. Okay, so now our shape's pretty much all dimensioned. What we're going to do then is go stop sketch, and we're going to extrude our shape. So if we want to go back to looking at that front view and click on extrude and select it, and I'm going to make it symmetrical because I like making my shapes symmetrical, keeping that origin point within the middle of what I want it to do. And the total width of our object, our project, if we look at our drawing, is 110 millimeters. So type in 110, and you can see it's gone both ways. Now on our extrude palette over here, we've got two types of measurements. So we've got a half length and a full length. If it's half length that's highlighted, what it's done is it means that it is 110 millimeters on this side of the plane and 110 millimeters on that side. So all up that shape is 220. But we want the whole length to be 110, so we're going to click on that one. Now it would be like 55 on one side and 55 on the other. So once we're happy with that, click on OK. So we've got our shape there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out the bottom of this little rectangle to come out of here. So we're going to do that. And I like to try and do most of the main shapes before I do the features, such as the chamfers and fillets and things like that, because sometimes it's easier to dimension off things that have got square edges. So let's go to new sketch. This time we're not going to select our planes, we're going to select a flat surface. So that's it there. We're going to do a 2-point rectangle and pick on one edge. Now the size of this rectangle is 40 by 25. So this height is 25 and the other one is 40. Press enter. Now you can see in your drawing over there that you've got some other dimensions there, and you can see that my rectangle is not centered, so I need to make that in the center. So if I go to press D on the keyboard, D for dimension, pick that up and then select the outside to this side, and then that dimension should be 35. And if I was to do this one here, it will come up with the driven dimension because it's already got 2 there, so it doesn't actually need this one. There it is, 35. So it's the same as what the drawing is, which means that our shape here is centered in there. So I'm going to go to stop sketch again now. We're going to go to extrude, select that rectangle, and we're going to do this as a cut. And we can go to distance and we can go to all, and it'll cut through all of the object below us. Go OK, and there's our hole. So now what we can do is, if we look at our plan, we've also got some chamfers there. We've got 4 chamfers at 3 mils by 45. So we could do those. So let's get those out the road. So let's go to modify chamfer, and we're going to click 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all at 45 already, but we want them to be 3 millimeters in. So go OK. So that's all of our chamfers now done. Okay, so now we're going to draw there's 2 screw holes that go in this face here. There are a couple of ways we can do this. You can put the hole using dimensions straight off there. You could put a sketch in there. For this one, I'll show you how to use it doing a sketch. So let's go create sketch, select that face. And this time we're going to put 2 points on there. So in our sketch tools here, you should be able to go down and find point. And I'm just going to roughly place these 2 points in there somewhere. And I'll put them off center so I can show you that in a sec as well. So they are there. Okay, now we're going to dimension these. So D on the keyboard, and your first hole from the top to the hole to the side is 25 millimeters. That was a good guess. And then it's 30 millimeters from the other edge. So from this edge to the hole is 30 millimeters. Press enter. So now this whole point is fully constrained. We want to match this one with that one. So what we can do, one of the ways that we can do some of that is we can actually use the horizontal constraint, and we can say, okay, we want this to be horizontal with that. And you can see now it's got a horizontal constraint, which means that if I was to move this, so I go, okay. If I was to change this one here, make it that 10, and press enter, you'll see that this one here also shifts. So the good thing about constraints is that once you assign things, they can move and they can flex within the geometry. Now the next one we're going to do is we are just going to put a dimension from there to the other side. So let's say from here to here, and that also needs to be 30 as well. So we're just going to do it like that. So we're going to escape out of that. There we go. Okay, so now we've got 2 sketch points on this. So now we're going to go stop sketch. And there's our 2 dots. We're going to go to the create and go to, should be hole, there it is. Or you can press H on the keyboard. Over here, placement, we're going to go from sketch in a minute. And so let's choose that. So we'll choose that one. And let's pick our sketches that we're going to do. Now in the hole type, we've actually got a counter bore there. And if you look at the drawing, that's indicated there by the little drawing that looks like an upside down U shape or sideways C or something like that. And so we're going to click on that. You can see in this drawing here now, the top part of this then matches what it is on the sketch. So we've got a 6mm diameter that's going all the way through. So that's this diameter. So this diameter here needs to be 6mm, like that. And you see it's changing for us. The other one says then the top diameter, this one here, that's a diameter of 12, but it's going in 5. So this one here is our one that we need to change. So change that to 12. This is the depth. This needs to change to 5. So you can see that we've now got a diameter of 12 coming across. It's going in 5. Then we've got a next diameter of 6, and that's going all the way through. So we don't actually have a drill point on the bottom as such. It should just go all the way through our shape. Now, if it doesn't go all the way through, what we can do is we can then change the distance, and we go to all. Now it goes all the way through, so just check and make sure it does. Once you're happy with that, then click on OK. There is the 2 holes going all the way through our geometry. Okay, so the last step that we've got is we've just got 2 fillets to take care of. And so I'm going to go to Modify, Fillet, and select the 2 edges that I need to put the fillets on. And they have a radius of 6mm, so I'm just going to choose 6 up there, and there it is, and go OK. And there is my mount bracket all completed and done. So if I look at it from the front view, that is at the front and your side, so that now matches up to what it should do in your drawing that's there. So that's the second video. Hope you found that useful, and yeah, good luck with creating that.